Hey everyone, Salim here, and on today's episode of Comics and Cosplay, we're going to be showing you our one-day build of the Captain Phasma helmet, sponsored by Toner Plastics. This will be part one of our build log on this project, so this will include printing off, gluing, and fitting all the pieces together before sanding, priming, putting, filling, and all the other stuff. Alright, so this is the start of my Captain Phasma build. Just wanted to do a quick build of the helmet. Most of it, all of these parts have been 3D printed. It took about a solid day for it to print, and I was able to crank it out so quickly. Mostly because of the low resolution that I used. It's a 0.3mm resolution. You can probably see the lines right there. Maybe that'll be better. Which on the spectrum of 3D printing, it's fairly low resolution. For builds like this where it's going to be painted anyway, I'd prefer to save the time on the 3D print itself and be able to get started right away into the finishing process and things like that. What I'm going to be using is a solvent weld to glue these pieces together. It's a SCIGRip. And basically what a solvent weld does is essentially it melts both sides of a part together so they fuse into essentially one piece. I haven't really tried this on this type of build before, so we'll see how well it does. If I need to go back over it with some Zap-A-Gap or Gorilla Glue or anything, I will do that, but I'm gonna start with this, see how it goes, and go from there. Now that stuff is really potent and it's really strong. It's a really strong smell, so I'm gonna put on a little respirator, a little mask, and get started on this. I'm gonna make sure I have all my kitties out so they're not breathing in this stuff. Kitties are out, and get started on this. Alright, so like I explained earlier, I'm using the SCIGRip, but I like to call it SCIGRip just because that sounds cooler. And you could see me here brushing it on both sides and mushing each side of the glued part together. Basically, when you brush it on, what it does is it'll melt down the top layer. That way when you attach both sides, they'll just fuse and it'll dry within a minute or so. It gets to 100% strength, or I think the bottle says 80% strength within 72 hours. But the working time is about 1 minute to 2 minutes. So once you brush it on, if you take a little too much time, you could always just brush on a little more. And it doesn't really layer up or anything. It just kind of dries up and dissipates. Some of these pieces I did have to sand a little bit just to get a better fitment, just from slight defect from both the 3D printing and my gluing. Some of these pieces weren't as perfect of a fit as I would have liked. If I were to do this again, I would probably tackle the gluing a little bit differently. I might do a front to back or layer by layer. So like I would do the bottom layer all at once, then I would do the top layer independently, and then glue it to the bottom layer, and so on and so forth, kind of like a cake, just making layer after layer. Yeah, you could see that I was sanding some of these pieces to fit just right. I used some 100 grit sandpaper just to take it down some and even it out. The good thing is it also gives a good surface area for the glue to grip on and squeeze into. All in all, total work time was probably about an hour, just based off the footage mostly. And all of it was printed out, so basically it was just a matter of getting the pieces to fit just right. But besides that, the whole build was pretty easy. And there you have it. That's my one-day build sponsored by Toner Plastics. So there you have the helmet all glued together and ready to go. On to the next part of the build. Shout out to Toner Plastics for sponsoring this video. If you like our videos, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. If you have any projects that you want to see us work on, leave us a comment. If you like our video, go ahead and shoot us a like. It really helps us out. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to our channel to stay up to date. See you next time on Comics and Cosplay. That was weak.